Hello, my name is Daniel, and welcome to my channel, Live to Read. Today, we're doing a book review with no spoilers of East of Eden by John Steinbeck. This book was published in 1952. Page count is over 600 pages, so a good sized book. So it goes without saying, John Steinbeck is an amazing author. I absolutely love his books. Some of my favorites are The Pearl, Mice and Men, Grapes of Wrath, My Travels with Charlie. And I don't know why I put it off. I never read it. Was East of Eden. And after reading this book, I have to say this is probably my favorite John Steinbeck book. It's just unreal. It's absolutely incredible. So, this book it's almost like deals with two families called the Trask and the Hamiltons. So Steinbeck himself wrote this book as a version of the book of Genesis, as well as including his own family history in here. So the way this book is written is just unreal. I love Steinbeck's writing. It's extremely descriptive. I'd feel, I mean, it's in a good way, but it's like an epic soap opera. I mean, there's so much drama, but at the same time, it has beautiful truths about humanity and the human spirit. So, this is sort of a generational tale of families. And at the same time, it's extremely deep and moving. So, this takes place in the 1900s in Salinas, California, where John Steinbeck is from. Agriculture is extremely is part of the society there. That a lot of people just do farming to make a living. So you're introduced to two, like I said, two families. One is the Hamiltons, is Samuel and Liza. They are Irish immigrants, and they have moved to Salinas to start farming and set up and they start a family with a lot of children. And on the other side, you're introduced to the Trasks. You have his two brothers and a father. The father's name is Cyrus, and the brother is Adam and Charles, and they live on the East Coast in Connecticut. And Adam and Charles are pretty much mirror Cain and Abel from the book of Genesis. And then what you do as the reader is that you go through their life experiences between these two families, and eventually, to me, the story mostly focuses on the Trask. Adam Trask is the protagonist. So you go with him on his journey as a young man, dealing with his brother, dealing with his overbearing father, and he eventually goes. He's going through his life, and by the time he's older, he makes his way out to Salinas, California, as well, and he wants to start a farm. But between all of this, there's you're introduced to a woman by the name of Kathy. So, and then Kathy herself is sort of is the devil incarnate. So she's referred to straight out as a monster. So what the beautiful thing is, like with with Steinbeck's writing here, it almost feels like a documentary. The way he introduces every character, their wants, their needs, uh, their how they look, their motivations is absolutely incredible. I mean, to me, this felt like real people, and I felt like I was sort of watching a documentary about these two families, and then eventually they will interconnect. But Kathy herself, you know, she is referred to as a monster, but what she goes through, she's a great manipulator. But every time she would show up in the book, I was always engrossed. And actually, sometimes the way she behaved would make me nervous because I did not know what she was going to do next. I mean, she has her own motivations. She's a sort of a survivor. She's out, at the same time, she's out for herself. She's only want to do what's best. And what she does, goes through, is incredible. And then eventually, way her story goes, she eventually makes her way out to Salinas, California, and gets involved with Adam Trask, who's there, and they start a family. And then from there, like I said, this is very generational. It's almost like a family dynasty. The story evolves from the Hamiltons with their children, and the children have their own lives, and you see that unfold. And the Trask have their children, and you see how that unfolds on its own. But while at the same time, it's all happening in the same place, and it's just incredible how it's all connected and how everything they affect each other. They end up becoming family friends. The Hamiltons and Trask, and the way they sort of support each other as well. At the same time, the dynamic and drama is just unreal in this story. So, like I said, this is just epic, and I just could not get enough of it, and I did not want it to end. But the themes of the story are just incredible. It's just about good versus evil, doing the right thing. It's very heavy in sort of humanity, life itself. There's a lot of moral lessons in here. There's great pearls of wisdom in here from Steinbeck. It's very, to me, it's a very rewarding and eye-opening read. It's just fantastic. And like I said, this has to be my favorite Steinbeck novel ever. So if you want something that's extremely engrossing and rich and epic and has a lot to tell you, I would recommend East of Eden by John Steinbeck. Just absolutely incredible story. So that's just my review. Like I said, no spoilers. If you enjoy the content, please like, comment, subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for taking the time to stop by. Thank you.